Tonight's match, first last week's winner, our number 3 seed from Haverhill, Massachusetts. Let's say hello to Chris Sargent.
With the big average of 132, high single 213, high triple is 530. And Chris Sargent does his bowling at St. Joe's in Haverhill, Mass.
As mentioned, a 421 triple last week, a 660 in the roll-off to earn the number 3 seed. Our number 2 seed with a 662 in the roll-off is Dave Hodge from Melrose, Massachusetts.
Recent college graduate from Suffolk University, average 126, high single 183, his high triple is 470. He bowls at Melrose Bowl.
And we're set for this afternoon's match. It's Chris Sargent and Dave Hodge, and we're coming back to Leda Lanes right after this for Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNBS TV. We began our ladder series with 5 bowlers, and we're down to 3 now with a couple of weeks gone by. Jeff Surratt eliminated in the first week. Steve Plant eliminated in the second week. Setting up this week's match with Chris Sargent and Dave Hodge at Leda Lanes in Nashua, and we're ready to go, and Chris Sargent will be first to bowl here this afternoon. Chris from Haverhill ready to tee it up on lane 34. He missed the head pin and almost got a strike. He starts off with a spare.
Big 421 last week for Chris Sargent, whose high single, as you saw earlier, was 213. And the crowd all cranked up for a couple of marks to open up today's match against Dave Hodge. A spare and a strike for Chris Sargent.
He certainly serves notice on Dave Hodge that he's in for a match. And here's Dave Hodge starting off with a strike of his own. Are we having fun yet?
The bowlers are, I know that.
Dave was a little bit on the Brooklyn side, but he got it to carry. Here's the second ball, and 2 in a row. Well, how do you do?
You haven't jinxed him yet with your usual.
But he's off to a 300.
Oh, you did it. You did it. You could have at least waited till after he threw his 3rd strike.
550 in a triple strike jackpot.
Right.
Here's Chris Sargent. Oh, he almost had a couple in a row. Wow.
That's the same spare he had in the first frame, but he had a piece of wood that was in front of it.
3 marks in a row for Chris Sargent. $50 in bonus money right off the bat. Man, oh man, oh man, this is an amazing start. Chris right in the head pin again. Another 9-pin drop. Trying for 4 marks right out of the box. There it is. $25 in additional bonus money. I'm going to assume the guys in the truck are taking care of my audio. I'm having a hard time hearing myself. Here's Hodge looking for 3 strikes in a row. And he's just that close. So $550 will get put back in the bank. And this is a $50 shot for Dave Hodge. And he missed it. And a 9 box.
57 through 3 versus 59 through 3 for Chris Sargent. Phenomenal scoring early on. And double dribble that one. Skip lob, as it's called. 4 horsemen on the right, 8-pin in the back.
Will he make it? He will not. Couple of open frames after 2 strikes in a row.
And wood is going to fall off, or no?
That's hang half and half.
Yeah.
Going to hit it. And play the wood. Not make the 10, but make a 9 box. So he's at 66 through 4. And here's Chris Sargent with 4 marks in a row to start out. Well, he's not going to get a strike. He had the 5-pin dance off spot. It's now almost between the 3 and the 9. Missed it.
Chris Sargent was the Rookie of the Year in the WCBC in '93-94, and in 2000-2001 he was the Bowler of the Year.
And that'll be a 9 box. He's at 84 through 5. And 84.5 for Chris Sargent to start out.
1999, he holds the record for 10 strings in the WCBC, 1486.
Well, Chris threw it on the head pin. Got a break with a couple of late falling pins.
Kind of a
tough shot
hit
there. Well, the wood is going to help him here. He's got the 5, the 9, and the 10.
He'd like it a little bit more to the left, though, I think.
Well,
just a little bit.
I think if he caps the wood on the left, he makes the shot.
Going for the cap shot, huh?
Yep. All the way to the left side of the lane. See if he plays it that way. Yeah, no, not quite that way, but he is not going to make the shot.
Seems like he split the difference. I'm not surely what. I think he was going for the cap, just missed it.
During the course of the program, we'll read you some of the cards and letters that we received during the off-season, during the summer months. We received a ton of them. A lot of them had to do with the audience here at Leda Lanes that comes to watch our tapings month after month. And a lot of inquiries about people sitting in the same location month after month. Well, all we can tell you as far as that is concerned is it's a first-come, first-served situation. And some of these people have been coming to the tapings for years. That's a nice shot by Dave Hodge.
We would love to invite you. Our next taping, as you watch this on Sunday, the 10th of October, will be this Tuesday, beginning at 10 o'clock at Leda Lanes on Amherst Street in Nashua, New Hampshire.
People get here early. They claim their seats early. They
do.
Protect their seats.
Remember the Oklahoma Land Rush in 1888 or 89? Well, that's what it is. Ray opens the front doors, and everybody charges for their seats.
Dave's got a shot at it. He played it real well, but a little bit too thin. And that'll be a 9 box. So we've got a tight match here in the first string. 3 pins separating our bowlers. 94 for Sargent, 91 for Hodge. Chris on lane 34 from Haverhill, Massachusetts. The winner of last year's Easter Sunday tournament here at Leda Lanes. Right through the head pin, right straight through.
I have an interesting email for you, Dick, and maybe you know the answer to this. I do not. This is from Ray and Cheryl of Barrington, New Hampshire. Could you please tell us where the term sandbagging originated? Which I think has been applied to more sports than just bowling.
Sure. I don't know where it originated. 10 box.
The follow-up question from Ray and Cheryl is Mike Morgan a grandpa? To the best of our knowledge, he is not.
I don't believe so.
Sure, you'll see Mike Morgan at some point during the season. He finished about 20 pins lower than what he would have needed to qualify for this ladder. He had 634 for his final 5 strings. It took 654 to get into the show this time around. That's what Jeff Surratt had. He was eliminated in the first week by Steve Plant, who was eliminated by the man you're watching now last week, Chris Sargent. Bowlers cooling off just a little bit after a white-hot start. 4 marks for Chris Sargent to start, a double strike for Dave Hodge. So there's a punch out. 2, 3, 6, 10.
Dave almost made a great shot, not quite.
Still 3 pins behind Chris Sargent through 7 completed frames. And there's where you can get in touch with us if you are wired into the internet. bowling@WNDS.com. Hear us read your emails. That's how we get them. bowling@WNDS.com. Love to hear from you.
Boy, he's been pulling shots out of the hat and coming close a couple of times. And he'll take a 9 box right there. 1 pin separating these two bowlers after 8 frames of bowling. James Graham of Somerville, Massachusetts sent us a nice note. Want to acknowledge that. Thank you very much. Nice to hear from you. There's Chris right on the head pin. The 6 and the 10.
Clean shot right at the 2 pins in the corner.
And he's got the spare. .121 plus a ball through 9. Right on the head pin, a little too full. He's going to put just 5 in the spare. Tough shot here with the 247 on the left, 610 on the right. Piece of wood could help. Not going to make it. He's at 134. And it will be a 136 first string for Chris Sargent.
Which is what he had last week, Dick, for his first opening match. 136.
The model of consistency. Here's Dave Hodge in the 9th frame. Spare opportunity here.
Couple
the
of
3
marks.
and the 5.
2 marks would win him this game. This is a very makeable spare.
And he made it. So Dave Hodge in position to take a lead into the 2nd string. Good pocket shot. 7 in the spare. Missed the spare. He's at 135. Going to be virtually even. Could be dead even.
It is.
136 to 136. We're at square one after 1 string, and we are coming back for string number 2 of our 3-string match. It's Chris Sargent and Dave Hodge on Candlepin Stars and Strikes from Leda Lanes in Nashua on WNDS TV. Ready to go. 2nd string from Leda Lanes in Nashua. Dick Lutz with Mike Morin, our WNDS TV crew. Dave Hodge and Chris Sargent deadlocked at 136 after 1 string of play, and Hodge first to bowl in the 2nd string. Kevin LaFawn's our director here today. Cheryl Sylvia is on graphics. Keith Jedlicka is our replay technician. Paul Hunter's our engineer. Mike Hayes on audio. Matt DiFilippo, David Lawyer, and Kevin Sheehan, our camera operators, all making it possible for you to enjoy Candlepin Stars and Strikes from Leda Lanes. And Dave Hodge starts out with a 10 box.
Add to that list Paul Willett, our in-house scorekeeper at Leda Lanes. The big grease board off to the side makes it easier for folks in the gallery to be able to read the scores if they can't see the computer monitors that we have. Although here at Leda Lanes, Ray Cimino and his staff have put up TV screens all the way across both sides of the house so you can watch various shows. It's great entertainment here at Leda Lanes with junior bowling, birthday parties, adult leagues as well, and open bowling too. How did he miss that? So after starting with a double strike last game, he'll look to start with a couple of 10s.
That's how to get in touch with Leda Lanes here on Amherst Street in Nashua. 340 Amherst Street, exit 7 west off the Everett Turnpike. If you're coming from the south, exit 8 if you're coming from the north. And lots of open bowling all the time. Open every day, 365 days a year. Leda Lanes in Nashua. Chris Sargent just missing. Not missing there. An unsigned letter here, Michael, and I don't usually like to read unsigned letters, but I want to address it. Someone deals with the bonus ball contest and are throwing cards away when we pull them out of the bin. And one of the things that we look for when we pull cards out of the bin, and we've changed the way we're doing the bonus ball contest, we'll get to that in a minute, is to make sure all of the information is on the card. There has to be a name, address, and all of the information,
and
the
phone
pertinent
number.
information, phone number,
Yep.
to get in touch with people. And when we look at the card, if all of that information is not there, we immediately disqualify it, and we toss it aside. And there's no other hijinks involved.
No, that's it. Make sure you give us all the information. We're sorry that happens to some folks.
Here's Dave Hodge on lane 34, and there's the bonus ball information. You can pick a number and send your postcard to Leda Lanes, 340 Amherst Street, Nashua, 03063. This year we're drawing the card first. There's Dave Hodge with a nice shot. And the mark for Hodge. We're going to draw the card first and let our bowler try to match the number that's on the card. And Dave Hodge.
Back-to-back marks for Dave Hodge, recent college graduate, as you take another look at it. Getting his sheepskin from Suffolk University, a business degree.
The pin came back out in the channel. Chris Sargent threw a ball down the opposite lane and gets a little polite applause from the crowd. The bowlers have a great rapport with the fans who come to watch them. Here's Chris right on the head pin and right through the spread eagle plus the 5-pin. Another one of those physically impossible shots.
It's a spread eagle with a 5-pin in the middle.
And Chris just picks one more. Last week we had Steve Plant picked off the 1 and the 9 and then made the spare.
He made the spare, right.
Here's a good 8 out for Chris Sargent. He'll take it gladly.
And he'll fall behind now by 7 pins in completed boxes.
And he's up against the
Yep.
strike. And he threw a ball off the head pin. And he has a tough shot here. So Dave Hodge will take a slight lead. Chris will not make the spare, so he is at 42. Hodge will have a lead of 7 pins plus a ball, plus the strike. When we come back to Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire, it's Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. We'll be right back. Dave Hodge working on a strike. Has a 7-pin plus a whatever he gets on this next ball will be his lead. And will it go? It wobbles, but it will not go. So we'll put 9 in the strike. And a 10 box. So it's a 16-pin lead for Hodge.
He was the co-owner, although he's recently divested his interest in Melrose Bowl and Gloucester Bowl. Currently front desk manager at the Marriott Long Wharf in Boston. So he is out of the bowling business as a proprietor, but continues as a professional, having just graduated from Suffolk University.
Almost made the shot. He played it well.
His mom is Lillian, and his girlfriend is Michelle, who he calls his inspiration, helps him with his attitude.
And a good 10 box for Dave Hodge.
Nice young man, Dave Hodge out of Melrose. Here's your former Rookie of the Year in the WCBC from 9 years ago, 93-94. He was the top bowler for all newcomers during that season. And drops 6 on his first ball.
Nope, missed the spare. That'll be an 8 box for Chris Sargent.
Finds himself 17 pins behind leader Dave Hodge. Another punch.
This is an article from the Patriot Ledger sent to us. It is, let's see, what's the date? August 14th.
What a
shot by Chris Sargent. Great shot.
Wow. Crowd like that.
Bowling's hip, hot, and happening. Nice positive article about Candlepin bowling and glow bowling and bowling in the, amongst young people. Great for socializing and a great night out. That's the essence of this article in the Patriot Ledger of August 14th. Dave Hodge not going to make the spare here. And it was sent to us by, there's a 10 box.
Who do we have to thank for that?
I'm looking for it right here, along with a nice note. Jim Hall sent this in, and Jim is from Quincy.
There's a 3 and the 10. 23-year-old Dave Hodge.
And Jim says he remembers the alleys at South Station, and he used to bowl there. And it's got an AP story of that article we mentioned last week that appeared in the Worcester Telegram, an AP version of it, that Candlepin bowling in Worcester is down to the Colonial Bowling Center. It used to be over 20 alleys in Worcester, and now Colonial's the last survivor.
Another tough split for Chris Sargent. No wood to help him out here. It's the 2, the 5, and the 10. Both bowlers struggling at this point in the second game.
$9 for Chris Sargent. We mentioned our bonus ball contest at the end of every show with a cash prize if we match the contestant at home with our winning bowler, and a consolation prize from N&R Trophies in Winchendon, Massachusetts. If it's not a match, and here's a strike for Chris Sargent in the 8th frame. Watch it again. Caught the head pin nicely and got great action after the shot. Here's Dave Hodge with a strike.
That's how you answer your opponent's strike, is with one of your own.
3rd strike of the string for Dave Hodge. He had back-to-backers in the 3rd and 4th frame, and then threw a 9-box or 9-pin drop. There he is looking again. He's off the head pin there, trying to break up the split, and he does.
Very nice break for him. The 7-pin went away. He's got the 1 and the 2. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's the 1 and the 2, and there's some frozen wood, it appears. 1-3, I'm sorry.
And a spare. So he's at 128 plus a ball. He had a 136 in the 1st string. He's going to be right about that in the 2nd string. Fairly consistent bowling on the part of Dave Hodge. And it will be a 7 in the spare and a 135 2nd string for Dave Hodge. Down a pin from string number 1.
Amazingly consistent bowling for both our bowlers today.
With an average of 126, Hodge puts up a 136 and a 135. Now Chris Sargent working on a strike. Missed the head pin, got a break, but a tough shot remains. He's got the 1 and the 10 with a piece of wood in the back that could come into play on a deflection. He made the shot. Great shot by Chris Sargent. Not sure how much of a factor that piece of wood in the back was. Got swept into it. On the head pin again.
These bowlers bowl so quickly, it's difficult for us to squeeze in the replay on some of these shots that you'd like to see. That's why you don't see some of these, because they're bowling too quickly. We don't want you to miss the live action.
Tough shot here. Can he cut it over? Nope. So he'll be open. He's at 123. 124 for Chris Sargent, an 11-pin lead for Dave Hodge heading into string number 3. As we continue with Candlepin Stars and Strikes from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire, you are watching WNDS TV. Chris Sargent ready to go as we start string number 3. He trails Dave Hodge by 11. This is the semifinals of our first ladder series of the 2003-2004 season.
Chris Sargent was beaten by Mike Morgan in the Tournament of Champions back in May. He had 396, Mike Morgan at 415. Then Mike Morgan went on to lose to Jeff Surratt, who you saw 2 weeks ago, 362 to 316.
Anthony Pastore waiting in the wings as the #1 seed to face the winner of this match for the ladder championship next week.
And our runner-up today takes home $550 in addition to whatever bonus money they may accumulate.
Thus far, the only bonus money we've had is $75 for Chris Sargent for 4 marks in a row to start the match. Dave Hodge has had back-to-back strikes. He had back-to-back strikes in the first 2 boxes of the first string. Chris Sargent that close to a mark. Just gets a little animated out there.
Fun to watch.
And a 9 box.
Chris told us last week that the highlight in his years of bowling was to be in attendance of the Hall of Fame inductions for the ICBA last October. You and I were there when his father, Mike Sargent, was inducted with a lot of other terrific bowlers that night.
Dave Hodge right on the head pin, pushed it through. He's got a tough shot here. He's got the 2-pin on the left, the 3-6-10 on the right, wood between the 3 and the 6. Not going to make it. Both bowlers open in the first frame. And a 9 box. So it gives up a pin. Want to know what's going on WNDS TV? There's a way to find out. WNDS.com. Click on and find out what's happening. Will that pin go? Look at it bounce around. It moves. It wiggles. It will not fall. Boy, oh boy, we haven't seen one move like that in a while and stand up. And he'll make the spare. So the mark for Hodge in the second frame will allow him to increase his lead, and Chris Sargent has some work to do.
Down, Chris.
3, 4, 6, 7.
Chris will be open for the first 3 frames of the 3rd string. That'll be a 10 box.
Number 9 ranked bowler in the World Candlepin Bowling Congress in the year 2001-2002. Not this past season, but the one prior. And he's been Rookie of the Year, Bowler of the Year. He's got the 10-string WCBC record for 1,486. In his young 10 years of bowling at age 33, he certainly has accomplished quite a bit.
Another copy of that article that appeared in the Worcester Sunday Telegram back on the 10th of August, sent to us by from McCline from Worcester, a loyal watcher of Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS. Thank you very much. Thank all of you for watching out for us and making sure we don't miss what's written and said about Candlepin bowling. We all love it so much.
We have somebody who wrote to us with a prediction looking into the future. First, he says, no name here, but living in Salem. I want to wish you and all the bowlers good luck this year. I watch Stars and Strikes every week. At the same time, without the advertisements for a great bowling fun all summer. With bowlers like Danny Harris, Jeff Surratt, all the way to Charlie Jutras, I predict a 4th seed winner. Well, Dick, we've never had anybody come from the 4th position, and the 6 complete years that we've done the show. Now into our 7th. And he goes on, or she goes on to add, I predict at least one 200-string score, which we've not had.
That's a tough one.
It's a tough one, but
that's a real reach.
There have been times when we've had bowlers who've been over
100
at the half. Yeah, it's happened.
It's not easy. Not done very often. There's a great shot by Dave Hodge. We're going to go to the break. Hodge is sitting on a great mark when we come back. At Leda Lanes in Nashua, Hodge in the lead over Chris Sargent. We're coming back after this on WNDS TV's Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Chris Sargent ready to bowl on lane 34 after a great shot by Dave Hodge. Hodge with 2 marks in the first 4 frames. Sargent without a mark in the first 4 frames of the 3rd string. Hodge in control of the match. Sargent has work to do and a spare opportunity here for the veteran from Haverhill. And that'll be a spare for Chris Sargent. He really needs to run the table here, or pretty close to it. Right on the head pin, not going to make it. He was a little bit too full. He only puts 5 in the spare.
Spread eagle minus the 2-pin.
Tough shot here. Oh, he almost made it. Of all the pins still standing, you wouldn't have thought it was going to be the 10-pin. And that'll be a 10 box. Now here's Dave Hodge working on a great spare. A mark or 2 here could really put some distance between the 2 bowlers. Put 7 in the mark. Nope, not going to make the shot. He tried to put the ball just between the 5-pin and catch the edge of the wood, and he just didn't do it. So he's going to have a 10 box. He's added 9 to the 16, so he's got a 25-pin lead. He's up against an open frame.
The World Tournament coming up this fall, as it does every year, usually in November. Last year, this young man, Dave Hodge, bowled in the company of Matt Dennehy, Steve Vadney, Eric Young, John Zappi, and Sam D'Agostino. I think we've seen 4 of these 5 bowlers anyway on our show.
Not going to make the spare, so he'll be open in the 6th frame. The door is open for Chris Sargent, just barely. He's 25 pins behind. Hodge waiting for the wood to settle. Wants to make both of them if possible here. And he will make a nice 10 box. It's a 20 pin lead in the match. 20 pins even.
Really anybody's ball game when you're bowling against Chris Sargent, unless you got about a 50-pin lead. You're not safe.
No, Chris is off the head pin. He's lost the head pin here momentarily. He'll get it back. Tough shot here. Will it go? Will it go? Will the 10-pin go? It won't.
Gets a lot of kickback off the sidewalls, which is very helpful on spares like that. Not enough this time. Settles for a 10.
Needs a mark badly right here.
Yeah, he needs 3 to wrap up his game.
Again, he missed the head pin, which is so vital.
So it's the 1, the 2, and the 10 with a piece of wood near the 10, but slowly rolling away. Could be helpful, though. But he missed the object pin, which was the 1. So the 1 and the 10 remain.
And a 9 box for Chris. He's at 83 through 8. Dave Hodge can seal the deal right here. And he does. That should just about do it. Watch it again. The 5-pin was the last to go. In the middle of the screen, here's Dave looking for 2 in a row.
Anthony Pastore, first time on TV next week, facing probably Dave Hodge. Misses the object pin in the 3-5-6, takes only the 6 out for an 8 fill in his 7th frame strike. All right, 28 pins with 2 frames to go. Chris Sargent, double strike to even have a chance to be in this. Certainly within his range of capabilities, that's for sure.
I want to acknowledge a note that we received from Vin Cirencioni of Methuen, Massachusetts. Again, I hope I am saying the name correctly.
Well, there's the first strike. Needs a couple of more to make this thing happen.
The Cirencionis are real bowling fans. They go back to watching duck pins on TV. That's a while ago. And we appreciate hearing from them in Methuen, Massachusetts.
Just a couple of duck pin centers in Massachusetts remain. Billerica, North Chelmsford. Well, that may not be enough. Yeah, should be a spare.
That'll be a spare for Chris Sargent.
So best he can do is, what, 383? Which means that Dave Hodge will need just 13 pins to win in 2 frames. Not even that.
A 7 box and a 120.
10 pins to win.
So Chris Sargent finishes with a 380 and Dave Hodge is at 371 as we speak. That'll do it. Dave Hodge is the winner. Yep. Watch it again as he sends the pin off the wall and back across the deck. Now trying to fill the spare. He will put an 8 in the spare. The familiar cry from the crowd, play the wood. There's a spare. He finishes strong. Trying to build momentum for next week. And the seedings have held true to form. We have 3 in the spare. And a 131 for Dave Hodge and a 402 to 380 for Chris Sargent. Dave Hodge advances. And he will take on Anthony Pastore next week for the ladder championship. We'll come back and talk to our bowlers right after this on WNDS TV's Candlepin Stars and Stripes.
Well, 3 matches down and 3 400 triples to win the match. The scoring has been phenomenal.
It really has been, and even for Chris Sargent, 380 is not bad. However, that's under his average, which would be almost 400 anyway. 380 is a pretty good day for most bowlers, but it hasn't been good enough the last 3 weeks.
402 for Dave Hodge and 380 for Chris Sargent, and Hodge will advance to take on Anthony Pastore next week. Let's meet our bowlers first. Let's bring up our runner-up this week. Chris Sargent from Haverhill, Massachusetts will come on, and we'll present him with our runner-up check, $550. And let's see, for bonus money, we did have $75 in bonus money, and you and Dave will split $50, the high string bonus award, so you'll each get another 25 bucks on that. 400 triples takes the win here.
Sure does. I knew that was coming. So I had to throw a triple at the end. I figured, you know, to give him a little bit of pressure, but he just bowled great.
You are a little animated at the line. You get a little bit of excitement that you're not afraid to demonstrate when you're throwing the ball down. You get a little, the crowd gets into it too when you do that.
You know, this old age, it's starting to catch up to me,
yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
33. Well, you do look like you have fun with it, and I bet there was a time when you were probably more intense and got angry easier. Now you just really, you know, go with it, right?
Yeah, it's only bowling. You win some, you lose some. What do you
Surgery.
Yeah, that's right. Thank God.
Yeah, right.
What do you do during the course of a match when you start losing your line, losing the head pin, and to try to get it back?
Just move back a little. I had to do that on 33. I had to move back, and I ended up throwing a strike. Then I moved back and I started punching again. So.
Do you find a lot of difference between 33 and 34 here?
Oh, definitely, definitely. 33 was real tough. Davey was throwing a great ball on 33, and we were just leaving splits over there. I couldn't carry the corner pins on the spares.
What do you think about some of these younger guys? I mean, you kind of joked about old age at 33. After Steve Plant, you're the oldest guy in this five-person ladder.
I know. I bowl with Jeff in the Worlds. These guys are so young. I'm saying, oh, my God, I'm 33, and I'm bowling these guys.
Jeff can't even buy drinks yet when he wins.
I know. It's funny. It's hard to keep up with him.
Great to see you. Congratulations. We'll see you again. Chris Sargent, our runner-up here this afternoon with a 380. Now the bonus ball contest, and we'll do the bonus ball. We'll draw the card first, as we started a couple of weeks ago, and we'll have Dave Hodge. Let me reach down and grab this sheet that I dropped, and we'll have...
hope we have all the information
let's
on
check
that.
it out here. We have Lena Sacramona of Hyde Park, Massachusetts. She picked 7. Now, Dave Hodge, let's see if you can get us 7, and see if we can give away $30. $30 is the cash in the jackpot or consolation prize from N&R Trophies in Winchendon, Massachusetts. For Lena Sacramona, we're looking for a 7. You weren't supposed to do that. Come on over. Come on, Dave, come on over here. Dave Hodge rolled a strike. We were looking for a 7, so it's a consolation prize for Lena Sacramona of Hyde Park, Massachusetts. And Dave Hodge, we were talking to Chris Sargent about the difference between 33 and 34. Do you find a lot of a difference here?
Every year I come up here, and 34 I bowl good on 33. I split every single time. I said to myself, I'm going to come up here, I'm going to beat this land this time. No matter what I have to do, I don't care. And I did it. I threw a strike on there. And I felt real good. I was like, I did it. I beat the mission. So it was a good thing.
We also need to, for the record, correct the town of residence, which is not Melrose. You're in Methuen, right?
Every year I'm from Melrose, but I'm actually from Methuen every year. So it just...
As long as the check clears, it doesn't make much of a difference, right? A 402 here, and you climb the ladder now to face Anthony Pastore next week. When you're bowling someone like Chris Sargent, you know you'd never have enough of a cushion.
Right. I mean, I just felt like I had to keep on bowling the best I could, because I mean, he can throw a triple at any time, and I just wanted to keep on bowling the best I could do. And I mean, I knew not enough is never enough, until he's down 31 pins with 1 box to go, and that's it.
Dave, you owned a couple of bowling centers, or were co-owners in that. You've now gotten out of that. You got your college degree. What professionally besides bowling do you have for a future, do you think?
I want to run a different kind of a business. The bowling alley business didn't really go off too well. I mean, difference of agreement with me and my partner, and I want to manage another business. I work at the Marriott right now, so hopefully I want to stay in there for a while and become a manager of some part.
What's it going to take for the bowling industry to survive? It's obviously gearing itself toward younger bowlers with, nuclear and atomic bowling and rock and roll and everything. What else needs to be done to keep people interested, especially the younger people in the game?
Stuff like this, having the kids' TV show is, I mean, I never had it when I was growing up. I never had the kids' TV show. I think that's a big step in bowling. And just having the AT&T show, these bowling shows are what us bowlers, we're looking for. And eventually, when we have kids, we made the TV show and whatnot. So I think keeping these TV shows for us gives us something to go for.
Dave, congratulations. We'll see you next week.
I also want to say my cousin Debbie's in the hospital. She had cancer. I just want to say hi.
Okay, good. Thank you, Dave. Good luck.
Dave, see you next week.
Dave Hodge, our winner here this afternoon, and a 402 to Chris Sargent's 380. And we climb to the top of the ladder next week.
Yeah, another favorite here from Leda Lanes, although you haven't seen him on WNDS yet, is Anthony Pastore, right here, hometown, Nashua, Leda. We'll find out how he makes out against the relatively seasoned veteran Dave Hodge next week.
And we'll look forward to seeing you as well. For Mike Morin and our entire crew, I'm Dick Lutz from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. And we'll see you next time on Candlepin Stars and Stripes. So long, everybody.
Wow.